Hi, my name is Abigail Archer, and this is my capstone poster. I did my project on building communication access in preschool classrooms through AAC staff training. So just to get started here, we will look at the background of the systematic review and then go from there. So just to start us off, communication is a fundamental human right, and we do use this to participate in most, if not all, areas of our lives. So this might be in school or during play, and of course during social interactions. For those with complex communication needs, AAC supports or sometimes replaces spoken speech, so it does provide that accessible way for people to express themselves. In the school setting in particular, team members like teachers and aides, they do play an important role in making sure that AAC is integrated into classroom routines and making sure that all children have opportunities to communicate. But however, research is showing that school staff are undertrained and that they do desire that ongoing support to use AAC competently, which is exactly what my capstone addresses. In terms of methods, two databases were used. So this was Sinhall and APA PsycInfo. All studies looked at interventions focused on professional development or staff training to improve or increase staff knowledge and skills, and then also enhance communication opportunities. And this is all in the preschool setting. Risk of bias was assessed through the Robin's Eye tool, and then I also used the trustworthiness of qualitative research framework to evaluate one qualitative study. And then lastly, legend and grade forms and tools were used to synthesize data. Down here for results and key ingredients, a total of 7 studies were included in the review, and they all varied in design. Most of them, we have 5 studies used single subject designs. One was a pre-test, post-test, and then lastly, there was one qualitative design. And then again, all studies that were included examined professional development or training designed to improve staff members' implementation of strategies. And then again, this is all in the preschool setting. The most consistent outcomes included increased staff use of strategies, and then also from the child's perspective, they also showed slight increases in communication as well. And then in addition to that, staff did feel that they felt more confident and competent in supporting AAC use within the classrooms. Grade did show that this is a moderate quality of evidence, and there's a weak recommendation with the overall risk of bias being moderate. I think this is due to the single subject designs. There is no blinding or randomization, so that caused a little bit of a higher risk of bias. Key ingredients in the studies were 2 to 5 training sessions, all paired with in-person coaching. So this would offer observation, real-time feedback, and reflection. All of this would be delivered over 2 weeks and repeated annually, so following that ongoing training model that research supports. Down here, this is my Prisma flow diagram and basically just shows how I swifted through all of the studies. Now looking at my capstone project, I was at Wyandotte Run Elementary School, specifically in the preschool program. 2 paraprofessionals were chosen for the provider child case, and their main role in the program is providing hands-on support. So they help create lesson plans and they help teach students in the classroom. They also are communication partners, so they do hold a role in ensuring that their students can access and utilize AAC devices throughout their days. Before my intervention was implemented, they did share that they felt that they needed more support in implementing strategies, increasing engagement, and managing multiple students, all during natural classroom routines. Down here is my final algorithm that I um, suggested to the site as well. So basically, what I suggested was collect data before implementing the training program. So find out staff perceived knowledge and skill level through a questionnaire, and then also administer baseline observations. And this is all to identify priority training needs. And then down here, we have the training and coaching sessions. Training and coaching sessions can be either in person or virtual, but they should be speech or OT led. Both sessions would be administered 1 time a week for about 20 minutes. And they all include active learning elements like modeling, role play, hands-on practice. They're also going to include a self-reflection component and lots of team collaboration. And then after that 5-week cycle of the training and coaching sessions, the educator will provide post-training data collection. So they're going to use those same outcome measures used before the program was implemented. And then after all of that, they're going to review the outcomes and adjust training based on those results. And then lastly, I gave some suggestions for sustainability supports. In terms of outcomes, before the intervention, both paraprofessionals completed a staff questionnaire through a Google form that I created, and then also I collected data through observation checklists, in which I will show you guys later here. Through the 5-point Likert scale on the Google Forms, staff did show a varied rating in terms of their confidence and competence with supporting AAC. So there's a range from ratings of 3 to 5 on that, but they did share needs in supporting initiation, prompting, and managing multiple students. Baseline observations, I was able to collect data during the first 10 minutes of circle time across 2 separate days, and this data showed that they showed strengths in being responsive and modeling and pairing spoken language with the AACUs, but there was some inconsistency with access and positioning methods across routines. So both staff members did consistently implement 3 out of the 6 strategies that I tracked. And then with the students, they averaged about 4 communication attempts and then did not show any independence with their device use yet. And then both of those outcome measures were used to assess the impact of the training program at the end of the trial case. And overall, results did show measurable gains in staff implementation fidelity, perceived knowledge and skill level, and in student communication. Up here, I kind of just gave an overview of what my training and coaching sessions look like. So both of them took place 1 time a week for a total of 4 weeks, lasting about 20 minutes each. Both were in person, and the training sessions focused on AAC foundational knowledge. And then I also shared some implementation strategies for them to refer to throughout their days. So this is just a bulleted list of things that I targeted during our sessions. And then coaching sessions, as I kind of explained earlier, this is to provide opportunities for observation, immediate feedback, and then guided practice within natural classroom routines. These are 2 of the observation checklists that I used before and after the training program. So as you see here on the top here, the staff implementation fidelity observation checklist, this just shows the strategies that I tracked. And then below here is the chart that I used to fill in communication acts from the child's perspective. Down here, I explain the sustainability plan that I created for the site. I actually did a binder, and I put a lot of resources in for the staff to use for that ongoing implementation and consistency. So this included step-by-step training and a coaching plan, ready to use materials, goal setting and reflection tools, AAC resources, and then I also gave suggestions for standardized onboarding for new staff. Up here, just 2 examples of the visual aids that I made for the staff during the training sessions. Right here is a little P project that I was working on during my time at Wyandotte. A big challenge that staff face is AAC buy-in with parents. So I try to combat that through parent education. And so I created a handout, and this was in collaboration with my mentor, which is an OT, and then also the speech therapist in the preschool program. Um, so this just provides education, but also ways that parents can support and use AAC at their homes. And then references are available upon request. And then lastly here, I just wanted to thank not only the OSU OT program, but also my advisor, Ellie Williams, and my site mentor, Amanda Lucas, for their mentorship and their meaningful contributions to my capstone project. And thank you.